Let me just start off with, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hold on, I gotta start over.
Now you fucked it up. We're gonna be here a while.
Okay. Alright, hold on. Hello, lady. What the fuck? Oh my god, these toddlers! Now they're throwing balls at my window.
There'll be a brick through your window
What
in a
the
minute.
fuck?
With the notes on it saying we're going
What the
here.
fuck, dude? They're throwing balls at my window.
Just flip them off. It's
Are
fine.
you still recording? So I feel like you should just run with this.
Yeah, no, I'm going to. What the fuck?
Okay,
dude?
yeah, just.
Okay, they stopped. Oh my god! Okay. I think their dad picked one of them up. Okay, we're good. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the ComicChaffPodcast with You're supposed. This is where you guys jump in. Come on.
Oh, hi.
Oh my god. Okay,
Hi.
that's fine. We're still gonna start with it. So, what were we talking about earlier? The whole thing with Donald Trump. Do we want to talk about that or no?
I think it has to be addressed.
I mean, it is kind of.
I feel like
it's fairly mainstream. It's fairly meta.
It definitely is.
Fairly.
We could I guess we can just kind of go off into other conversation after we talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Let's just address the elephant in the room and then go off and do other stuff. It's fine.
Let me ask you guys this: are you guys like affected by it at all, or no?
No.
No, right?
Nope.
Like, because you guys are not even fucking in the country,
No,
so it's
we're
like,
We're alright. We'll just suffer.
All we've got is just
Brexit.
our media covering it as well. Oh yeah, Brexit. Okay, that's just not.
oh yeah, what's that about?
I don't know, to be honest.
Our government has no idea what to actually do because they didn't expect it to actually win the vote.
Okay, so is Brexit like I'm vaguely like familiar with what Brexit is. Is it just like Britain leaving the Union?
Leaving Europe. Yeah.
The European Union. We're not physically moving our islands
Yeah,
too far.
yeah,
away
but
from
you
Europe.
fucking leave. You can't just get up and walk away. So is it more of like a kind of they're establishing their own kind of rule kind of thing, or is it maybe?
I think it's something to do with laws, yeah. So that's part of it. They wanted to kind of make their own laws, and there's something about Britain paying to kind of be in the European Union, paying, was it like millions or something into?
It's like 360 million or something like that.
Oh, is that okay? So like the problem here is money, is what they're saying. Are
It's
they-
always about money.
Money,
Yeah, right.
laws,
So is okay.
money, laws, and immigration. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically they're losing more money than it's worth, kind of thing.
That's what they think, yeah.
Okay.
That and Nigel Farage is a bit of a racist.
Who?
The kind of arsehole kind of leading it. And apparently he lied, but that's fine, you know. Everyone lies nowadays.
Well,
just
I mean,
normal.
dude, honestly, you guys gotta fill me in because all I see around like on the media is fucking black people getting killed and Donald Trump. Like, that's all I'm seeing on the news. Like, it's so like the media is such bullshit, dude. Such bullshit. It's insane. And I feel like, are you guys having any like problems with like racism over there or no?
No.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because, I mean, let's be honest here. Where you guys live, it's like a higher density of whites. You know what I mean? Like, definitely higher density of whites. For sure.
But no one. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
I mean-
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It just doesn't really have any effect. We're
Yeah.
just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, it's like,
We-
I don't know.
We have cups of tea to worry about, you know.
Yeah,
And I'm going to be
yeah,
honest,
Yeah,
if it does happen here, I kind of feel like people just brush it off a little bit easier than they do in America.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like they're just not as offended, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of.
It tends to go under banter nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So like a joke kind of thing. Is that what you guys are saying? It's like
Yeah,
joking,
Pretty much.
almost. Yeah.
Just British offensive humour, you know.
Yeah. With dude, Americans are fucking. We're fucking up. Like, we're fucking up pretty bad. I don't know if you guys know, but like,
well,
It's-
yeah.
there's so much shit going on. It's like it's with not even to mention the social justice warriors, all the the radical feminists, and all this now the Black Lives Matter movement. All these people are like, not to look. I think I think there's a place for everything, right? I think there's a time and place for everything, but these people, I guess the main issue with a lot of these people is like they don't have, I guess, evidence to support their claims. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these people are claiming fucking, oh, I see black people get shot all the time. You know, cops are out here being brutal. You know, killing these black people. But it's like everyone's ideas are based on other people's ideas, right? They're based on other people's opinions. Which is what the fuck? Like, I don't think, you know, if let's say I really wanted to be taken seriously, right? And like, let's say the science community, I'm not gonna be fucking going into a science convention to go talk about, let's say how an atom works, right? Based on some fucking hillbilly telling me how an atom works or how he thinks an atom works. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what these people are doing. Like,
they're just kind of going off.
Yeah, exactly. They're
very
just going off
lacking knowledge.
Yeah, they're just going off of what they've heard.
And I think in part because from over here we've sort of been we've basically just been watching on as the flames burn.
I bet.
And being slightly singed ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it would necessarily directly affect you guys, but maybe I don't know. I feel like it doesn't affect you guys at all.
Our Prime Minister gets a holiday to America, and actually, hold on, there is something. The Donald Trump is I think currently been invited on a state visit to the UK.
Really?
And that basically means that he gets to meet like the royal family and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. There's currently a petition. Let me find it. Because we love petitions. There's a petition going to basically not to block Donald Trump from entry, but I think to not invite him as on that sort of a state entry, or like a state.
What do you mean?
visit.
Like an official entry?
It basically means that it basically means that he can come on the grounds that he is the president of the United States, but he's not like officially invited to like meet the Queen or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Basically, he gets a lot less
respect,
respect. Yeah.
Okay.
And the petition, where let me quickly just.
Okay. Well, while you're looking for that, let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump. So, I think a huge problem, again, you know, like how I was saying earlier before we started this whole thing, I think a huge problem with Donald Trump is what he says, right? People are confused because he has a lot of, like, he's said a lot of differing shit, like contradictory shit is what I should say, right? Like he's mentioned, like, what? That fucking Mexicans are sending over their rapists and shit, right? And they're criminals, and like that's the huge stigma with Donald Trump, right? That he's a racist against Mexicans or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, he's kind of just, again, like one of those people that are just going off of what he's heard, right? Like he's just going off of what he's heard. He's like the majority of America. To perfectly sum it up.
Not by the popular vote.
What do you mean not by the popular vote? Oh, I guess.
Not by
Hillary won, but I mean, come on.
I know, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
your system's weird.
Was Hillary really going to be the best option? Like,
yeah. In all fairness,
I did hear some pretty disturbing stuff that could have possibly started World War III.
She's a fucking snake, dude. She's a
like,
snake.
what was it? She wanted some airspace in. I can't remember where it was, but she wanted to get airspace in some place which could have caused big problems.
Yeah, definitely some conflicting.
I mean,
go for it.
In all fairness to you guys, it was kind of a choice between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Yeah.
There was no good answer. Also, I found the petition, and it's currently on 590. It's just ticked over to 594,000 signatures, and it's been going up at about 1,000 a minute.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, at least. So I'll keep watching just for the sake of timing to get a good estimate as to how fast it's going up. I'll let you know when it gets up to 600,000.
All right, keep us updated.
I'll keep you updated. It's good.
But yeah, so back to the whole thing with Hillary Clinton. I think she's like the almost, I guess you could say, the spokesperson, right, of corruption. She's like, she would be the idol. Like if corruption had a mascot, she'd probably be one of the like fucking front runners, right? The face of corruption, because she's, if anything, she's more into the government than Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is like his whole motto or whatever is that he's gonna kind of shut down all this government corruption or whatever, and he's gonna kind of I guess pave the way for the middle class worker, right? Like he's gonna be doing it in the best interest of quote unquote the people, right? But the problem is, I don't know if you've heard of his cabinet. Have you heard of his cabinet? Like the people that he has.
Haven't heard anything.
Okay, well his
all Republican, right?
I don't know exactly.
I've heard it's all Republican.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but I know one of them is the leader of. Or not the leader, I think it's, fuck. I feel like, I don't want to get my information wrong to sound ignorant. Because I don't know, like, I know a decent amount on this topic, but it's more so like what I've seen throughout articles that I've read. But I know one of them's like the, CEO maybe of ExxonMobil. Do you know what that is?
No.
Exxon? Okay, well, it's a basically a gas company, right? Like oil company.
Right.
Where they, gas, Exxon is, they give gas to cars and shit, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if you've heard, but he doesn't believe in climate change, right? Like, he thinks climate change, or what he said, climate change was like a conspiracy made up by China or whatever the fuck, right? Which I think was just an absurd statement. Like, fucking absurd, to say the least. We're going to get into climate change, too, because I feel like we need to talk about that. But
yeah,
so he's like, climate change is made up, blah blah blah, and that's the reason why I say I don't fully agree with him. I think business wise, he can provide a lot of support that we've never had from a president, right? Because a lot of them,
he is like a big.
A lot of them don't really have business sense, and I think he could provide a lot of business sense to, I guess, American policy, but he's not what we need in the sense that there's, like, I guess, more important matters at hand, right? Which is climate change, a huge one. With global warming, right? Like the whole thing. He's like, oh, we're not gonna really worry about that. That's just a scam kind of thing, and that's not what we need. Like, like I don't think people really understand is that, like, people are just kind of arguing about all this bullshit, like with radical feminism, gay rights, black people. Having equal rights kind of thing, even though systematically they do, but there's a lot of confusion on that. There's all these people worried about black people, their rights and stuff, equality, gay people and their rights, even though that's kind of done with. The fucking social justice warriors trying to have recognition, and then the trans community, all these, like, have you heard of all the pronouns and shit that, like, people are trying to. Like Oxford and I think Harvard are trying to push these pronouns on people. Do you know what I mean when I say pronouns?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like all this, like Z or like Z. Like basically everything else except he and she. Right? Because like if someone doesn't identify as a girl, then it's like, oh, you can't call them that. But what if they don't identify as a boy either? Then do you just, what do you call them, right? Like that's the whole problem here. And overall, these problems are so fucking minuscule, right? So little compared to the huge problem of global warming and deforestation, and I guess the way our eating habits right now are we're fucking up everything, right? And I guess another argument would be like overpopulation and all that shit. But eventually, what?
Wrong priorities, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We're all worried about little shit, right? Why don't we just, like, this is the way I see it. I think if we just pass, like, legislation to, I guess, combat, all this deforestation, global warming, and we're gonna get into why we can't do that, right? We're gonna get into why we can't do that, but the reason being is because if we just let this stuff keep happening, by like, I think there's like studies by like 2050, we're gonna end up running out of oil. Like
600,000 signatures.
fuck yeah!
So that's about 6,000 in the past. I don't know how long, but that was a few minutes. Also, going to ExxonMobil. Trump picks ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson to be Secretary of State. So, yeah.
What? Fuck it, dude. What are we gonna do? I feel like he's only gonna be in for 4 years, and then we're done. I think we're done with him. But oh my god, there's cars in the background. Anyways,
There is the midterm elections.
Is it really?
Yeah, 2 years time, I think. So
How long is a term? It's like 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
So
okay.
yeah, 2 years time you have the midterms, so you
Okay.
can
Yeah, and
switch
then
up-
everyone's gonna be
switch
like,
up the cabinet.
"Hey, fuck you, get out of
So it's
office."
like, it's either keep the Trump train rolling if it is going going
Let's see if
well,
he can prove himself.
or it's put on the brakes and pull it back a bit.
Yeah.
That's sort of. the
Well,
way
we'll
it's
have to
gonna
see
go.
though. We'll have to see though, because I mean, again, he might offer a lot of shit that that we need debt wise. Because we have a lot of debt, right, with China, and that's the whole.
Yeah.
I think he can offer a lot of that shit, like insight on that. But again, that's not what we fucking need. Back to the whole, I guess, climate thing, whatever. A lot like. We're gonna die, right? We're gonna die, and you're not. When you're dead, when you're dead, you're not gonna be able to complain about who fucking, I guess.
Whose fault it is?
Yeah, right. Like you're not gonna be able to decide all that stuff. Like I guarantee, if we just shut off the internet and we just cut off connection completely, all these fucking problems would go away instantly. All these problems would go away instantly because no one, like all these little groups. Right, that these people are with are gone. They're like dispersed because that's what the internet's like playing. The internet's playing this role in a lot of arguments because I don't know if you heard of the whole argument with algorithms on the internet.
Oh yeah, that was a little while back, but yeah.
Do you know what I mean when I say algorithms, right? Like
Yeah.
okay, well, just in case for those of you who don't know, algorithms, right? Like I guess algorithms by definition are just a bunch of like math formulas, basically kind of deciding how you get from point A to point B. Like let's say you press the home button on an iPhone, algorithms will come into play and kind of get you to home, right? Because it's a bunch of coding and blah blah blah. And so the way algorithms kind of play in this whole debate and kind of fighting or whatever is because everyone's starting to get, I guess, divided, right? Like the algorithms are set up, and it's even set up on our social media too, which is fucking horrible. Where we see what we want to see, right? Like we see what kind of pertains to us, like what we find or what we would find most relevant to us. Like, for example,
I earlier today I look up Canon cameras, and then I click over to a next YouTube video, and the ad by it is for cameras from Carrie's
yeah,
PC World.
exactly. That's a perfect example, right? Because they're trying to get you to buy this shit.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you to, go to all these websites to go give them more money, basically. And here's the problem, is because let's say you want to argue that there's such thing as white privilege. Okay, let's say you want to argue that. And you do all this research on white privilege, blah, blah, blah. And so now the algorithms are going to start showing you stuff that supports your side. Like, it's going to start showing you articles of other people who agree with you. Right? And the problem, and so what I'm saying is that there's no room for conflicting arguments. You see what I'm saying? Like, no one's going to challenge what you're thinking because that's just not the way it's designed. Like there's no, and that's a huge thing in science, which is why I fucking love science. I fucking love how everything works. Science it's supposed to be like an idea comes in or two ideas come in, right, and one idea comes out. Because the other's gonna die because the other one had more evidence or stronger or whatever the fuck the case may be. And so we're all becoming into these like little factions, dude. Like these little fucking like there's a little faction of people who just like cat videos. There's a little faction of people who think there's white privilege. There's a little faction of people who don't like white privilege. And the constant like you'll see if you if I guess now that you know this, if you notice it, you'll start seeing that like most of the arguments that are pertaining to your side or whatever usually discredit the other side, right? And they're like, oh, whatever the fuck they say doesn't matter. It's wrong, right? Like it's wrong, and they're like swearing that they're out to fucking lie to you and blah blah blah. And even though, right? Even though let's say the other side has fucking substantial evidence and actually has proof of their side, there's this sort of like almost cognitive dissonance with a lot of these people. Even though, like, do you know what cognitive dissonance is?
No.
Okay, well, cognitive dissonance is basically like if you're faced with, I guess, antagonizing evidence of your side, right. you still choose, right? Even though it's evidence, right? Even though it's facts, you still choose to support your side, even though, you know, right, that you're wrong or whatever, right? You just keep going with it, kind of thing. And you see that, right? You see that with all these people, especially the radical feminists that just keep fucking going for no reason. Right, and they're all proven wrong and blah blah blah. Like, there's all these stats and shit, and there's so much we could talk about. But just to kind of get to the meat and bones of this whole thing, there's so many factors, right? There's the internet with all the algorithms and shit, and differing opinions. Like, so many differing opinions, it's ridiculous. And I think, the fact that, you know, now today, I don't know if this is really prevalent, because you know I'm only in my little bubble. Like, I only know what's going on around me. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's kind of the case for everybody, unless you guys have a different setup over there. But for the most part, I just know what's going on around me, right? I don't know what's going on in fucking Minnesota or like the Midwest. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, for all I care, nothing's happening. But what I'm saying is the internet's supposed to provide this kind of, I guess, database of fucking facts and evidence and information, right? Like, everyone's supposed to have information at the tips of their fingers. But people aren't being challenged, and so now they're like, oh, well, if it's on the internet, it must be true. And that's the case of like confirmation bias. You know, when someone sees something that agrees with their point, so they're like, oh shit, okay, well, it must be true. And that's the whole issue. I think that's kind of really destroying America right now, is because we're all divided, not only on the internet, but opinion-wise, and now people are trying to come in with facts, right? People are trying to conflict with each other, but because they're so caught up in their ideas, they're not allowing for, I guess, room to, I guess, go off into saying, like, no one wants to say they're wrong. You know, I think that's a huge problem. No one wants to say they're wrong, because then it discredits everything they've done. You know what I mean? Like, would you, like, let's say, it'd be, like, you'd have a hard time, and maybe you wouldn't do it, I don't know, like, maybe that's up to you guys. But, let's say you fucking based all your life's work, right, on this one idea, and then some proof comes out that you're wrong. You know, and all these people are like following you. You know what I mean? And you're such a like influential person. People are gonna start seeing you as like, oh, all he said was bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you lose money, and then now you're discredited, and now people like shun you, kind of thing. And that's a huge problem, is because it's a little bit of people not wanting to change, and people not allowing other people to change. I think is the huge issue here. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to keep going into a rant without you guys jumping in, because I feel like I'm talking too much. What are some topics that you guys know about? Do you know any? It's okay if you don't. I mean, none of this really matters, I guess.
About America?
No, not America per se, but just world problems.
Well, something about America. I just saw this on Twitter.
What?
Christian leaders denounce President Trump's plan to favor Christian immigrants.
What do you mean denounce? Like, just...
Like, say it's wrong. He wants to favor Christian immigrants.
Really?
Oh, dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear, dear, dear.
Oh dear.
I don't know.
Well, anyway.
There's a huge like gray area when it comes to that stuff.
Religion.
What is the Okay, I feel like, do you guys want to get into that religion?
No.
Why not? Why not?
No.
I feel like we can have such a fun time. It'd be so fun.
No.
You guys gotta start bringing up your opinions, because I really want to know, or facts maybe if you have any.
I got a fact: 611,000 signatures.
Fuck yeah!
That is
That's how
going
you
up really
do it.
quickly.
Okay,
I know,
we're
it's
here.
insane.
Let me start asking questions that people have given me. So this one's from Hazador. Where do you see your channel 5 years from now? If you're still uploading by then.
Short films.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So similar thing here, actually. Hey Jake, we should collaborate with a short film sometime.
Hey, I've got one planned, kind of.
Same here. I've got one kind of. I have an idea.
Okay, well that's all that matters, because then you can just branch off into whatever the fuck.
Exactly. So I think the way I'm saying it is I'm probably the chat. Okay, so I've currently got, for at the time of recording this, because this may change relatively soon.
Yeah.
I've currently got one channel by the name of Samuel Trace, and that is not to plug it or anything, but plug.
No, yeah, no worries. We'll plug it in at the end.
Yeah, it's fine. I shall reiterate the plug later. Anyway, I've essentially got that, and that's been predominantly built on Minecraft. And I'll be honest, I'm fading out of Minecraft quite a bit, and I think a lot of other people are as well. There is still an audience, yes, and a lot of the communities that I'm in are revolved around it. But I also want to go into other games. So essentially, the plan I've got is to create a second channel similar to what Jake has got, and play other games from that.
Woo!
But also, and I'm also going to create probably this is probably a bit much later. But I'm also going to create another channel for IRL stuff. So I want to do podcasts on there. I want to do perhaps travel stuff on there. Maybe if I actually travel anywhere, and then basically sort of short films as well.
Okay.
And it's gonna be. Aside from potentially the odd podcast I'll pick, it's generally going to be very separate from the whole gaming side of things. I think the gaming ones are still going to be sort of like quite similar to what I'm doing. You'll see trends between the sort of way of editing between the Minecraft channel and the other gaming one. The other gaming one is probably going to be the one that goes the furthest, because the Minecraft one is slowly dying, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's happening to my main channel as well.
Exactly.
I'm just enjoying my second channel more.
I'm definitely enjoying other games more. I'm probably doing Minecraft, well, not at the moment because I'm working with loads of school stuff, so my school hates me. That's a topic we can come on to in a bit.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
But I'm essentially gonna start building the sort of, I guess, alternative gaming channel, and then probably put a lot of time and effort into that and try and make that a thing. So and if that doesn't work, then I can still fall back on Minecraft if I have to. Yeah.
So you're saying that Minecraft, I feel like Minecraft's been on a slow, steady decline for a while now.
It's just not good anymore.
I think
it's definitely not like you can only milk it so much, you know what I mean?
Like, and I think when it gets to the point where what you're promoting on Twitter is changing the colour of a block, and that's it. Like, really?
I think it's definitely gone in a different direction to what a lot of people would like. A lot of old school players would want. It feels like it's more. I mean, actually, Jake, do you remember EGX and the Minecraft section there? They had a seating area for parents. It was a tiny thing and like hidden. It was basically a big gaming convention, Eurogamer, the biggest one in UK. And it had like the tiniest little Minecraft section. It was like it was probably about what, couple of dozen computers at most.
Yeah.
Like 24 or something like that. And it was essentially a tiny little section right at the back, right in a far corner, not really near anything else. And it basically had a load of kids playing it with pretty much a relatively, pretty much as much seating space as there was computers, seating space, and all of the people sitting there were parents.
Yeah,
and so it's sort of it was seeing that and seeing other audience, seeing which Minecraft YouTubers are growing, because I'd like to make a comparison here between two YouTubers, Ant Venom and Dan that I'm in Minecraft.
Do they still make videos of Minecraft?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
still make
let me
videos
make
in
this-
Minecraft?
Let me make
Really?
this comparison. And yeah, and Venom has done a lot more quite sort of, I guess, quite educational and sort of aimed at sort of old school Minecraft players.
Yeah.
And aimed at that audience, and he's been growing extremely slowly. Dan TDM is pretty much child friendly. Basically, very much. I see it as very much a kids channel. I haven't watched many of his videos, but from the thumbnails I've seen.
Hello?
Word.
Hello, what happened?
Roblox.
Well, yes.
He plays
That's-
Roblox.
That's another thing. But we
You
won't
guys
go
just
into
cut
that.
out for me for a second. That was funny.
Okay, yeah.
You guys like were
regardless
going, and I
of
was
that-
like, hello? And then I hear,
Yeah,
Roblox.
But regardless, he has a kids channel, and that's what's been growing massively. So I think that is inevitably the direction which Minecraft is going. I'm not so much a fan of that.
So
and
do you
it doesn't
think
really match my
the
commentary
development of
style,
Minecraft
so-
is linked to YouTube channels?
I think.
I think originally it was. And now it's become so saturated with all these people doing different things. It's like where's the room for other people? You know what I mean? Like everything in moderation, almost. Right?
Do you think it's turned into a kids game, or quote kids game?
Well, let's be real
because
here.
of
It's always
the
been a
big
kids
YouTube
game.
channels.
It's always been a kids game. It's just
when it first came out, it was like kind of people of like all ages playing it.
yeah, but I mean.
then YouTube got bigger, and I'm thinking, Dan TDM, all the kind of people that did very childish videos on it, that kind of, that definitely boosted the kid audience.
Exposed a lot. That boosted the kid audience, and now I think the sort of kids side is where they're getting the most market.
Yeah, and then Mojang rode the waves of the kids
I
game.
think you guys are on the right track with the whole kid idea. But I don't think it's necessarily the YouTubers, because the YouTubers change based on what's out there. You know what I mean? Based on what's popular or whatever. So I think YouTubers aren't really the charging factor behind it. I think they definitely are a factor, but so many more kids are seeing all these YouTubers, and they're like, oh hey, I want to make YouTube videos too. And what's the game they go to? Right? They go to Minecraft. And so now all these new YouTubers or these little kids or whatever are starting to record Minecraft, and they're like, oh hey guys, what's up? It's I don't know what's a good name here. It's Ace Films here, and I'm just playing. No, but you know what I mean, right? Like all these kids, there's so many kids trying to make YouTube videos and trying to get big out there because their favorite YouTuber is a Minecraft player, and so like, oh shit, okay, and plus Minecraft, is so widely available. It's like, might as well start here. You know what I mean? Like, where else are you going to start? You're not going to start on some fucking big, heavy name brand title. You want to get a feel for it, right? Because most kids, most kids, like I don't know about you guys, but before I started YouTube, my go-to was Minecraft because I didn't have before I didn't have Fraps. I didn't have all this editing software. I didn't have all this, fucking cool ass tech that took me hella time to get. And when people are first starting out, they go to basic games, and Minecraft is usually the go-to. And so now it's like oversaturated as fuck, and people don't want to watch it anymore because there's so much of it, and it's so diluted. It's diluted in shit, right? It's diluted in shitty commentaries and shitty people playing. And
because there is good Minecraft content out there.
Yeah, there definitely is. That's not. Yeah, I'm not saying that.
It's become a lot more
diluted.
Hidden. Yeah, diluted because of the vast amount.
Exactly. And now no one's like every time. I don't know about you guys, but every time I see a Minecraft video, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if
unless it's one of Jake's, because Jake does quality.
Oh no, I'm not.
Minecraft.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying you guys. When it comes to you guys, I'll watch your guys' shit because I'm there to support you guys, whatever. But it's like every time I see like just a random Minecraft video, I'm like, what am I really gonna take away from this? You know what I mean?
No.
And I think that's why we need to start, and that's why I was telling you before this. As a friend, I think I mentioned that we need to, or you guys need to start, driving away from Minecraft, and
that's what I'm doing.
I think that's why one of the reasons why I think the Spike SMP is so quiet now, You know what I mean? Because people
no.
aren't really interested anymore. You know, like people don't really want to sit down and record Minecraft anymore. Like that used to be the shit.
We need a game.
You know, that used to be the shit. You know, but now it's like, I'm not really down. Like, I'm not down. You know, and so
maybe some Gmod is in order.
Yeah, or either that or some other new game or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's just
it's just difficult to find an actual game that you can play a lot.
Yeah, because a lot of games aren't that fun anymore. Like a lot of games aren't that fun anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there's not really, especially with the whole new gen, next gen kind of shit. There's not really a whole lot of.
All the good games are multiplayer games. Not multiplayer, like single player games.
Yeah, exactly. Good example.
So like Overwatch has become massive.
Yeah, right. Overwatch is pretty fun, but it's more of like a, that's like a League of Legends kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's not really, you can't really, I guess have conversation during a game of Overwatch as you could with Minecraft. You know what I mean? I think there's just not a lot of passive games, or good passive games rather.
That's why I still think we should try and do some Gary's mod shit, because
I'm down for that stuff. That'd be cool. We're just running around and shit. Prop hunt would be fun.
We just need a goddamn server and enough people.
Yeah. That's the problem too, because like there's groups, right? People, like you have to kind of get to know each other, kind of thing. And I think the initial, you know, like before, I don't know what you guys thought of me before I fucking was joining you guys, but. The initial I guess meetup is so weird. It's just like awkward almost. It's like I don't fucking know you. You know what I mean?
I mean, we didn't see you for a few months upon adding you, and then you just kind of appeared. So
I was, but I as Ace knows, I was fucking working on the server, even like when you guys were, even when you guys were like not like even though you guys were doing your own thing, I was doing my own thing. You know what I mean?
That was so weird.
That shit was so funny. I had a whole castle.
We just find like a massive castle because you show it to us
at the end of the season.
I found such a nice spot too, like so hidden, like right next to spawn too. Like you would never like. That shit was so funny. But anyways, so I think. Well, let's be honest here. I think gaming's become a whole different thing now, like a whole different beast almost.
Yeah. And just in terms of popularity as well, because I think I think Minecraft has got, I think on PC. I might be wrong, but I feel like I heard like 18 million copies somewhere. I may be wrong, but I feel like that's on PC. That may be too much, but it's like if you compare that to on PC, I think I say PC. Overwatch has recently hit 25 million players, which is insane. I think it was like a couple of days ago.
Overwatch is fun as fuck.
Yeah, and if you divide 25 million by 4, you get 625,000, which is the number of signatures the petition's on.
I fucking knew you were gonna fucking do that, dude. I was like, what is he? Where is he going with this? It was either Illuminati or the fucking petition.
Yeah. But no. On a serious note, I think going elsewhere. I think was there a Minecraft phase? Absolutely, it was massive for a few years. It came out in 2011. I think since probably I'd say it was probably at a high point around 20. I know it's insane, but I think around I want to say around sort of 2014, 2015 when Minecraft was probably at its prime. I'd say
2014,
maybe 13 going into 14.
Yeah, 13, 14, actually, think about it. But I think now time's moved on. I think a few people have grown older. There are a few kids who are getting into it, but I think that in terms of their actual capabilities and knowledge, it's not that great when it comes to the game. So I think it's just basically a shift of people just due to the time frame that it has been around and the time since its biggest phase.
Yeah, they definitely missed the fucking craze. Like, they definitely missed it.
Well, yeah, all the kids who are here now basically probably saw the end of it and they were like, "Oh my god!" Or they saw slightly older videos. But I can do that, and then try to don't match it. No one like being serious. Actually, no one's really up and coming with Minecraft. Yeah. Let's be honest.
And well, I think I think that has a lot to do with because the craze is gone, right? Like Minecraft back when it was first starting, it was like this whole it was like a phenomenon, right? Like it was like what the fuck? Like, you can do whatever you want in this world? That's awesome. Like, I've never, like, that was, like, almost unheard of, right, in the gaming community. Like, I know people have tried to do that before, but it hasn't really been as successful as Minecraft was. And so Minecraft was this whole innovative fucking idea, sandbox, survival, fucking whatever world, that you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted, and people weren't given that option until Minecraft. Like a solid option. And so now, and then that's what the whole craze is about, because people could do whatever the fuck they want, and then you saw this new innovation coming out, with all these mods, right? Like all this new different styles of gameplay, the way you could, like, do your world could be completely different from someone else's, right? Like, it was so much variety, but now that that's kind of been, again, saturated, it's like, well, now we just have to wait for the next fucking innovation. Like, we just have to wait for that next Minecraft or whatever,
I think mods, I think, actually did, breathe a little bit of life into Minecraft.
They did.
I think it's slightly later phases. And there was big, like, if you think about, like, Feed the Beast was massive, Tech It was massive. But again, that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that can only last for so long, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think that no one's really inclined to make mods. And I think that, because there's been very vague talk about the mod API and basically integration of mods and basically making it easy for modding Minecraft, and actually basically make it some sort of embedded, basically almost way of actually being able to load mods from within Minecraft itself, basically integrating mods essentially.
I think
Mojang have held off of doing it. They've not done it in person. Mods have slightly died out a bit. That was pretty much the one thing that was helping Minecraft, because honestly the updates that Minecraft has been getting have basically very much been declining in quality since, I think, about 1.4.
Yeah, there's so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. And I think when Notch sold the title, I think he was realizing that, hey, it's only gonna last for so long. You know what I mean? He's just trying to get out there.
I think he was, and I think he preferred to go off and do his own thing.
Yeah.
It was. I think in his mind, I think it was a project that was just dragging on a little bit too much, just like my computing is currently. But regardless,
exactly. Another thing too, I think with the whole mod thing, I feel like that should just be integrated in all gaming systems, right? Because not only would fucking developers, like, get more life out of their games, but it gives more freedom of choice, right? It gives more freedom to the people, and so people can do whatever the fuck they want. Like, I know a good game that had a lot of potential, and I'm kind of sad that it just flopped at the end of it, was Evolve. Have you guys ever heard of that game? There's like this whole, like, I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
But Evolve, when it was fucking mentioned, it was like this whole thing where you could play as the monster. Like, that would've been fucking sick. But I think because there's such little variation, that it just got old really quick. And plus not even to mention, when it first got released, there were so many bugs. And, like, there's like this little mini craze of people, of like developers kind of publishing their games before they were done. Destiny was a fucking huge one. That really fucked a lot of people, including myself, because I spent hundreds of fucking dollars on that game to get fucking subpar content, and then someone just strolls up, pays $60 and gets everything and then more for $60 when I'm sitting here spending 120 or whatever. Like, I feel like Destiny was the perfect example of how stupid, right? Of how stupid the people could be, like the public, right? Because Destiny kind of used the brand, right? They used the name Bungie, because Bungie was such a respected developer, and I don't know if they still are really. I mean, I respect them for Halo and stuff, but with Destiny not so much. The multiplayer is fucking awesome on Destiny. I don't know if you guys have ever played that game.
I've only ever played the actual campaign
Destiny
story.
was so fucking fun. But then I had to get out of there, right? Because I'm sitting here fucking unloading my life and my money into this game that, like, and it becomes just like, what am I really doing this for? Like, I'm wasting hours of my life on games. You know what I mean? Especially because it's like that's a whole nother argument too. Like, what really is gaming, right? Like, it's just kind of well, you're basically wasting your life when you play a game. You know, like I
Mm,
mean, look,
kinda.
that's very subjective, I guess you could say. But let's be real here. I mean, you know, you're losing time, right?
There's more productive things you could be doing.
Yeah,
but it's not
there
like
definitely
you're
is.
sat there doing nothing.
But I'm saying like
I think-
you're still losing time, regardless, right? You're still losing time, and when you start to confuse the whole, you know, hey, I'm gonna start unloading money into this thing that doesn't even really have an impact on my life. It's like, people start losing interest. I think.
Yeah, and I think no.
Go ahead, say whatever the fuck you want to say. Do it,
Well,
do it. We have to argue. You guys can't just be silent the whole time.
When I was when he said games that are sort of putting a lot of money into them for not much reward, and I think some distrust being gained from that. 3 words: No Man's Sky.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my
That,
god. Fuck that shit, dude.
I think you agree with my point automatically.
Yeah,
that
exactly. They were trying to
I think
pull a Destiny.
I think yeah, and so I think some people are sort of generally losing trust. Okay, granted, are there still some good games? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
But they're becoming slightly fewer and far between. They're becoming a bit more repetitive.
Exactly.
There hasn't really been anything that innovative. There's been small sort of little quite popular things, like I think Overwatch with all the animated shorts that have accompanied it. That's been something, but there's been nothing really massively innovative.
Because everyone's following a pattern to
terms
make
of-
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Call of Duty.
Oh, don't even get started.
No.
on that. That's just
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it there. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Battlefield 1 is going with World War One theme, and that's why it's got, because that is slightly innovative, because there isn't
I like that.
Yeah. So but I think generally speaking, no one's taking risks. Undertale took a risk, and that was massive.
wait, who?
Undertale,
What is that?
the game.
That's a game?
It was like a little.
You not heard of
kind
Undertale?
No.
That was huge.
Really?
It was big game. It was RPG.
Undertale?
Yeah.
What is it
Yeah.
about? Is it just like
No idea.
It's basically
No idea.
It's a set of, I haven't even played it, but it's basically weird, generally different art style, sort of story, lots of different ways you can play through it. And it was very different, and it was very out there. It was relatively meta with the jokes, a few fourth wall breaks, that sort of thing. And it was just popular.
Wait,
that.
is Undertale I think I vaguely remember. Is Undertale like a 2D platformer?
Not platformer.
Not
It's RPG
platformer,
game.
but-
Is it 2D though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it like
So quite black and white sort of thing.
okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Regardless, anyway, innovation is what's needed, but people playing it safe, and is a sort of guaranteed way of getting money.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Point made.
I mean to I guess kind of sum it up, yeah, basically. And we're just kind of waiting for another Minecraft or another fucking craze, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people are just kind of I don't know, we live in a weird time, guys. Like to say, you know, we live in a weird fucking time. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. People are still trying to like figure out what life really is, you know what I mean? Like we're not really like there's so many questions being thrown out with not enough answers. You know?
Yeah.
Like where do we find a place for transgender people? Where do we find a place for black people? Like how do we make amends for these people? What about the Native Americans? What you know, is our government really against us, or are they for us, kind of thing? Or are these companies really screwing up the world? Is the world gonna end? You know, and you know, you'll ask any one person and they won't really have an answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
when people do answer, to me it feels like it's a shit answer.
exactly. It's
And
like,
they're
it's
doing
either
it just to be kind of seen as
yeah.
good. Because you think about it, this is one thing that really pisses me off. The Ghostbusters remake,
Yeah.
I feel the
Don't
only
even
reason they went
speak.
for the whole women thing is so that they'd look very gender equal. Because, I mean, Ghostbusters,
Mhm.
it was a group of guys. It was guys. So why not just do another one? I mean, if it had women in it, then yeah, sure, do it again. But there's no need to change it just for that to look good.
Do you think that's what they were doing? Just to kind of...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well,
They did that to try and be
I don't know too much
equal.
about that. I just know that Milo, like, hella shit talk that the, what was it, one of the actors, the black lady?
Oh,
there was, like, that whole craze where they were just, like, fucking...
Yeah, no, I do remember
bombarding
that.
her with insults. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, I didn't realize how savage people can get. Like, you know, you take something people love, right, and you mess with it, people are like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck
it was just a bad idea. I mean, they knew it had a big following.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It definitely was close to people's hearts.
Yeah, the other one is, I heard that they were going to add, like, a woman agent in Men in Black.
Really?
In Men in Black. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Leslie
If you want to be
Jones.
gender equal, just be gender equal. Don't say, oh, look, we're gender equal.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, the whole gender equality thing's confusing, too. Like, like girls, I don't know if you've noticed. Are you guys really involved in this stuff? I feel like you guys don't even give a fuck.
Gender equality?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying you guys are like complete assholes. I'm not saying that. I'm just asking.
No, I'm not against it. I'm just like, am I actively protesting it? No. Am I against it? Absolutely not. But it's the whole thing of like a lot of people are saying well, there are some people who are saying equality that's celebrating when women get more than men.
Yeah. Now it's
which
become
defies
like
the whole point of equality, and it's completely hypocritical. That's as much as I'm going to say about it.
Radical feminism is, you know, I think there's like a study, like a huge study, right? Was it in the UK, where like 1 in 4 people identify themselves, or 1 in 4 women identify themselves as actually feminists. You know what I mean?
There's a difference between feminist and radical feminist. I mean, radical feminist is like...
well, let's be real here. Let's be real here.
Thing.
Again, you know, I feel like all our conversations come back to, you know, the diluting of topics, right? Of subjects, like the diluting of Minecraft, right? With all these shitty YouTubers. I can't even fucking talk. The diluting of all these radical feminists, right? There's just a lot of people that are just talking out of their ass. And so now feminism is coming into this kind of, I guess, choke point or whatever of dumbness, of just retardation.
Yeah.
If I can say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can.
Like they're starting to become, I guess, confused, if you will, on what the actual goal of feminism is. Because feminism is equality, right? But how are you going to say that when you're sitting here trying to put down men?
They're using feminism to be, like, to discriminate. Yeah,
to try to be better than men kind of thing. And same thing with the Black Lives Matter movement. They're starting to discriminate against white people. And I understand that, you know, they have a little bit of a, I guess, a case because, you know, slavery and everything. But I don't know how America's more racist now than it was like 30, 40 years ago.
Because everyone's been bringing it up.
Yeah, exactly, right? And like their whole argument is, oh, you know, we're still being put down kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, where? like, where is it, please show me where people are putting you down because you're black. Like, and I know there could be, I guess, with the judicial system, there's definitely a lot of, like Black Lives Matter, or I guess just black people in general, make a lot of good points, right? They make a lot of good points when it comes to, I guess, injustice, based on experience, right? Because, you know, cops have been known to kind of get out of hand with black people, and, you know, I guess black people have gotten longer sentences kind of thing for minor crimes compared to white people who got less crimes or less time over huge crimes. But, dude, 13% of the American population is black people, right?
Right.
So 13%. Okay, that's a very small amount. I mean, that's a lot of people, but that's a very small amount compared to the whole bigger picture. Mm-hmm. But black people are actually, I guess, 55% of all crime, they're behind all criminal, or 55% of all criminal cases.
Yeah. So there's
Jew-
there's
yeah.
evidence to both sides. There's
Exactly.
evidence that people discriminate. Well, discriminate is not the right word. Like, what kind of is?
I think
Very lightly against black
yeah,
people.
there. Look, to say that there's not racism is to be ignorant. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
just you can't stop racism because racism is a thought. You know what I mean? Like you can't be like, hey, you're not allowed to think that, right? Because then that's thought policing. And you know, how do you stop someone from being racist?
You shoot them.
I guess, but I mean, if we're trying to shut the fuck up, we're trying to get a peaceful approach here. God damn it, we're trying to get a peaceful approach. But
plus, okay, this is the point to be made in a little bit. But where are you going to get a gun in the UK? Let's be honest.
In the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't get guns in the UK?
No, because you shouldn't be able to.
Really?
No, but like
Yeah, it's the normal.
It's pretty much normal for like to be like no guns in the UK, pretty much.
America is like the only place where you can easily get access to a gun.
Well, a few.
Well, it's like one of the but like one of the very few.
Yeah.
But it's like it's from our perspective because I saw I don't know, it was like someone talking about like a robbery that happened in America or whatever. They heard someone broke into the house. They went to the basement, so it's like they grabbed the kid, grabbed the torch, grabbed the gun, and they said it so casually, and then went down to the basement. And so like and I saw loads of people who were like British in the comment section, just like saying stuff like as like someone from the UK when he said grab the gun, it really surprised me because it's literally there were so harsh rules on guns in the UK. It's insane. Like you have to go through so many checks. And have like constantly, I think it's something like constantly renewed permits and that sort of thing. Okay, I live in a village of like I think maybe I don't know, definitely a few hundred people, and and there is literally it's in the countryside as well. When quite often, because like you'll have more guns in the countryside generally just for like farmers, etc.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm aware, there's literally probably only about 2 households who have them out of so many houses, and it's literally pretty much no one has guns.
I'm assuming the guns are more like hunting rifles. No, like they're not actual.
Exactly. As even then, it's more stuff based on hunting. Because I mean, granted, I live in the countryside, so I'm a bit biased, but it's like they're rare even for just like hunting, etc. So it's like pretty much no one has guns unless you're just doing like sort of like army training or similar sort of thing, in which case they're generally just air rifles or stuff, even then. And it's such a drastic sort of culture view from the, I don't know if that's a white word, but it's such a different perspective from those in America. And it's actually quite interesting.
Well, okay, I think the reason why there's such a difference is because our Constitution is based on, you guys, I don't, is it you guys or was it Great Britain? I'm not really too like familiar with the whole. I mean, I know like somewhere in I feel like I'm getting into really rough territory right now. I'm trying. I have
no idea what you're gonna say.
I have no idea where you're going yet. So just go for it.
The colonies. Who started the colonies? Like who? King George, right? Is it George? I don't know. Who sent people over to start the 13 colonies of America? Do you guys even learn that shit? Do you guys even care?
That was like Queen Elizabeth.
I do history, but
no, it wasn't Queen Elizabeth. What am I talking about?
Is it Britain? It was Great Britain. I'm pretty sure.
Regardless.
Somewhere in that area, somewhere in that area, right?
It was either us.
I'm pretty sure it was Britain. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Anyways, and that's not you guys, right? You guys aren't in Britain, no? Are you?
No, we're in Britain.
We're in Britain.
Okay. So I think the reason why the culture is so different because your guys' rules were like, hey, no guns, right? Like, hey, you guys really had nothing to worry about. But whereas America, we had to worry about you guys, right? We had to worry about you guys taking over the colonies. Like Great Britain would send over soldiers, to fucking, I guess, keep tabs on the American people, and people didn't like that, right? So like, there's I guess, violation of privacy, and I guess just overall liberty of freedom or whatever the fuck, right? And so now we put these laws in place, or amendments or whatever, to combat that stuff from ever happening again, because I guess they lived in such a time, or we lived in such a time, whatever, where those were actually our problems. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah, I don't understand why they kept it though.
here's the thing, because to say that to say that a government is not corrupt I feel like is almost naive. You know what I mean? I feel like even though you might swear that your government's so transparent or whatever, or like so good, blah blah blah. They all have their secrets. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
So everyone has their own secrets, and that's the problem. And I think the reason, and our forefathers, or I guess my forefathers, whatever, kind of established these rules in place so the people could have a way to defend themselves, right, from a tyranny of whoever. Right.
I feel like back then it would have been a bit safer, but nowadays I think with the way it's got, it can be more trouble than it's worth.
Okay, so are you saying now due to modern times you think gun control is more
Yeah.
like a
The availability of guns, it can be.
Yeah, okay, but again, like I remember how I was talking about earlier, how everyone's starting to question everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we're starting to question our government. We're starting to find out all these problems about our government, right? We're starting to find out all these problems and all the secrecy and all these conspiracies and shit. Like I remember, I forget. I was watching Joe Rogan podcast. By the way, a great podcast, guys. Go check that out, just in case you guys want to look for any influential or I guess informative videos. Joe Rogan's podcast is pretty great, but he mentioned something about like conspiracies, right? Like there's been so many conspiracies, I guess in the American government. That's ridiculous. It's like people are now starting to be like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, I remember
what's real, what's not.
I think there was a conspiracy against, I forget. I think it was somewhere in Cuba. There was, and this has actually been proven. This is like fact. I think I'm not sure. I might be butchering it a little bit, but it's something to do with sending soldiers, I think, to Cuba. I think sending them to Guantanamo Bay to go kill these people, right? To go kill American soldiers. So the American government was planning to send American soldiers to kill other American soldiers. Okay? So they're planning to kill them. And basically they were going to blame it on the Cubans so they can have an excuse to start a war with Cuba.
Right.
And so this has been a proven conspiracy. And it's like, that's pretty fucking shady. Like here are these people.
I think that's an understatement.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's not even fucking, I guess, grazing the top or whatever. But point being, it's like if the government is capable of doing that once, what's to say what's stopping them from doing other shit? You know what I mean? Like what are they not telling us? And so now people are starting to question that stuff, and there's no real answers. Right? And so now people are like, I think America's on the verge of almost either a huge progressive movement or a revolution. Now, hopefully it doesn't come to revolution, but again, this is what I'm saying where gun control comes into play, right? Because if the government starts becoming, I guess, abusive of its power, we have to have those checks and balances in place. Otherwise, it's going to be complete mayhem, and there's going to be one dominating power. Like I don't know if you guys have this in Britain or whatever, but do you guys have like a checks and balances kind of thing, where like there's like differing, I guess, parts of the government that like kind of keep everything in order, so like not one part of it gets too powerful, kind of thing. Do you guys have that or no?
No idea.
Not really. Okay.
Don't...
Well, I don't know. I guess I can look that up later, but. So we have a system where I have checks and balances and stuff in America, and the problem is the people is one of the checks and balances, right? But you can't gain wisdom from the crowd if the crowd isn't wise. You know what I mean? And like I said, we're all asking these questions, so nobody fucking knows, right? Nobody knows the answers to any of these questions, and so now we're just looking around like, oh fuck. What do we do? You know what I mean? Like, how do we how do we make sure this stuff doesn't happen? And so now nobody has these answers, and now people are so now people are against each other, right? With all these like little factions, how I was talking about earlier, to bring it back in, with the internet and all these algorithms and stuff.
Yeah.
We're all like pitted against each other, and so now we can't even check the government, and I think that's people are starting to see that now, and that's why the government's getting away with a lot of the shit right now that it's been getting with. Like, there's been a few like shady fucking acts or like legislation, or legislative fucking whatever passed under like kind of under the noses of the people, because people are like preoccupied with other shit, like they're so distracted with other stuff. It's now becoming, oh hey, well they're distracted, so let's now take advantage. And I think people are starting to see that the government's doing that shit. And again, who knows? There might be a revolution on the way. Like, there might be fucking mayhem on the way, but I mean, I don't know. I hope I don't end up dying during that time.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. This could be an outcome though. That's the thing. You gotta take that stuff into consideration in the way like people are going. Because people are starting to get aggressive over here, dude. Like just aggression, like nonstop aggressiveness, and always it's like aggressive defense almost.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyways, so how are you guys with school over there? What's your guys' opinions on that?
Kill me.
Oh shit! Oh, what time is it? Oh, we're okay. We're almost coming up on the end of this, so we got like 5 more minutes left. I guess we can talk about that next time. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Tristan, do you know what? Let's let Tristan vent for like
No,
2
no.
minutes.
go for it.
Well, okay. Here, to summarize my condition, I currently have my computing on one monitor, the petition, which is at 658,000 signatures, on the other monitor,
Lit!
and a piece of biology homework in front of me. If that essentially describes my scenario right now. Then, yeah. And I also have looming about I think about 30 A3 slides of PowerPoint to do in the next week and a half as well.
Nice.
So essentially, my school hates me, and yeah.
Do you
Not
have a
fun.
problem with homework? What's your opinion on homework? What's your opinion on homework? I want to know that.
Okay, the amount of homework isn't too bad. It's just the fact that the coursework of the subjects that I've chosen is insane, and they're just constantly trying to push it. Because the thing is, I go to like a relatively sort of decent school that gets like generally aims for like A's, A stars, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So then it essentially means that they just try to push us quite a bit and get a lot of work out of us and get high quality coursework, which means a lot of time. And so, yeah.
Oh, so are you saying do they focus more on testing kind of thing? Because I know that's
not
the case for America.
Yeah, it's not so much. I mean, yes, there are there tests at the end, yes, but I think we don't have as many. Like, everything is right on the test. We don't have as many sort of. We don't have midterms
or whatever the fuck.
We don't have
Just
midterms
like
or whatever.
one set of exams for everything.
Basically, just one set of exams for everything.
Okay.
And then you may have.
But we do have
project work as
coursework.
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
That's awesome.
which basically
Well,
Which will be
660,000
declining a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
So just to kind of roughly, I guess, wrap this up for a second, I think there's a lot of problems with the American school. I can't really speak for other countries or whatever, you know what I mean? Because again, I only know what's happening in my little bubble, you know what I mean? But for the most part, it seems that American education is really fucking the kids over, because there's a lot of emphasis on testing, right? And so it's like, hey, let me just learn all this shit like the night before, or maybe just let me learn all this shit for the next couple weeks just for the test. And then after the test, most kids forget it, right? There's no retention and no real application, I guess, to real life things. Like what are you? I feel like general education becomes almost redundant at some point, right? I feel like it becomes more of like why the fuck am I still learning this? Like, I don't know. Do you guys
Yeah.
have general education over in Britain?
Just like maths, English, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Same
That
thing. Same thing.
that over here is used as I don't even know. It's so freaking stupid. Like my mum's friend's daughter wants to be a nurse,
Yeah.
and she wanted to get into like a childcare thing. And she's really good. She's really good at her job. She's got like really good knowledge of it. And the only reason they won't let her on the course is because she didn't pass a maths test.
See, exactly. That's what I'm talking
one
about.
exam.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Because it becomes pointless at some point. Like, why the fuck? How am I gonna why would I need the Pythagorean theorem to fucking take care of a child or whatever? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, if the baby's on this side, how am I gonna get to B and C? Like, no one's gonna fucking know. Like, no one's gonna care, right? It's more of like
I need to know the length of your hypotenuse.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, it becomes redundant at some point because now we're just learning shit that we don't even need. Like, why not dedicate that time to learning other actually useful shit that could apply to your career? Like, what, you know, like in college, I don't know how it's set up again in Britain, but over here in the US, it's like you get 2 years of general education, right? You have to do that. But 2 years is a long fucking time. A lot can happen in hell, like even a week, you know? A lot can happen in a week, let alone a fucking year. So it's like, why are we wasting all this time dedicating it to shit that I'm not even going to use later? And I understand people might argue, oh, well, it helps you with basic knowledge, but okay, but how do I even use this stuff for later? Like, why not, I guess, orient these classes to help me with my other classes? Like, why not, let's say, you know, you want to become a tech engineer, right? Why not give me the option to take an English class rather than make it mandatory? Why not give me the option to take an English class, take a history class, blah, blah, blah. And even if that becomes too, I guess, taboo, quote unquote, if you will, why not just make it to where these classes become dedicated towards that field of work, right? Let's say you want to be an engineer. Why not make your math class dedicated to teaching you all about engineering, like all the formulas and all the stuff you need to know and actually applying it? Why not just do that stuff, you know? And I understand there's like a lot of problems with like, you know, obviously budgets, but I feel like it's doable.
My school acts like it's poor, but it just makes stupid decisions.
Yeah, the government also subsidizes a lot of money, and that's partially why colleges, right? That's why colleges are so fucking expensive. It's because, you know, the government starts like, oh, hey, well, here's the money, and then the fucking school uses it to build like different buildings, you know, that instead of putting it back into the program, which is just, I feel like, screwing up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how it is in Great Britain or wherever the fuck you guys are.
It's all fucked. It's all fucked.
Yeah, right. We're all just like, I feel like we're all just getting trained to be sheep.
Yeah,
You know?
I know nothing about real life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no real life application, and it sucks.
No.
People don't obviously understand this. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but school was originally like set up to, at least in America. Again, I don't know. I hate saying that, but school was originally made to get kids into factory working. Like, that's what it was originally for. And people are gonna be like, oh, well, actually, it was, you know, people wanted to get kids out of factory work and into school so they can get higher paying jobs. Well, higher paying jobs in the factory, like higher paying jobs in the factory, just managerial positions, you know, like you weren't really leaving the factory, you're just trying to get a better position in it.
Yeah.
But anyways, just to kind of wrap this up, I guess. So, do you guys want to plug in your channels? Go for it. Just do it. Just do it. Go ahead.
Hashtag plug club. Go Tristan.
Go. Twitter handle, YouTube handle.
I thought you were going to go first. Okay. Currently, I mean, granted, as I mentioned earlier, I may well actually creating some other channels or whatever. But as of right now, Twitter at Samurotris. Please put it in the description.
Spell it for him.
SAMUROTTRIS. YouTube.com/user/Samurotris at the same spelling. Yeah, I currently do mixture of Minecraft and other games videos. I'm going to be doing some other stuff, so I already mentioned, so I won't do that. Jake, Plug Club, go.
Nice.
Main channel, Ace Films. I try and do highly edited Minecraft videos. Other channel, Ace Plays, random gaming episodes like Game Grumps. Or pretty much
So Twitter handle at Ace Films, right?
44.
Okay.
Ace Films 44.
Okay, and then YouTube. Ace Plays.
I've
You
already done
want
that
to throw in Ace Plays too, or?
I said that bit.
Okay.
Did I cut out?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well,
Shit.
Ace Films and Sam Rogers.
Ace Films, highly edited Minecraft.
Thank you guys for joining me on this podcast, and we'll be sure to do another one for the Spike SMP soon.
Yep.
Right. All right, guys.
I'll be on my channel.
Yep.
Just so. Hashtag Plug Club. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.